The matter of success requires a lot of contemplation from a person, as it is not a momentary or temporary issue, but rather an extended process over time and place. But before we talk about success, we must talk about how it is achieved in the actual reality of human life. This is the point that many people overlook, and it is the starting point of a journey of 1,000 miles. And this is what the book How Successful People Think emphasizes, that sound and positive thinking is what gives a person the ability to achieve his goals and bring all his desires to fruition. It is a practical field that relies on experiments and experiences to achieve a qualitative and distinguished leap at the personal and professional levels. The more our negative thinking patterns change into spaces for thinking, optimism, and hope, the more we can break out of our narrow thinking circles and achieve the success we aspire to. How Successful People Think, by John C. Maxwell. Changing mindsets and thought patterns is not an easy task, but it is not impossible. The rule states that our current thought pattern determines the shape of our present and future life. Therefore, we should not expect positive results in reality from a negative thought pattern, as a person reaps what he implanted in some form. This fact allows us to see things from a different perspective. Thought pattern does not change by itself, it is a reflection of our experiences, knowledge, and interactions in this life. Great and successful ideas are a natural product of great thought patterns, but these ideas are not a ready-made given as much as they are things that require effort and continuous research. Therefore, for the person who wishes to update or repair his thought pattern, he must strive as much as possible to achieve this. When his way of thinking improves, positive, great, and genius ideas start to emerge, which can turn his life upside down. Sound thinking is the product of enough time spent practicing it in one's life and reality. As Einstein once said, thinking is hard work, that's why so few do it. Bit to remember, changing thought pattern is a hard process but not impossible. The problem with thought patterns is that they still want to reap the results without having a solid intellectual foundation. Therefore, before we talk about success and continuing on the path, we are called upon to think about ways to transition from states of laziness, failure, and stagnation to states of success and excellence at all levels. To achieve these goals and objectives, planning and strategies must be employed to actively engage in a continuous process that improves one's way of thinking. Perhaps the most important of these strategies is creating a good information environment, meaning that a person must always pave the way for the flow of ideas. Among these methods is also accompanying thinkers and thoughtful companions who bring you luck and intellectual motivation. However, this does not exempt you from regularly putting yourself in the right place and time so that you can think calmly and peacefully, making the thought process a means to achieve goals, free from randomness and aimlessness. To make this a regular part of a single intellectual framework, it must become one of your life priorities. Therefore, it is necessary to get rid of the dominance of emotions, as they often spoil thinking and distance rationality from all matters. Bit to remember, sound thinking begins with considering a set of conditions for its fulfillment. The innocence, soundness, and correctness of thinking are contingent on the correctness of the thinker's thinking. Therefore, thinkers have always been people who derive their human greatness from the greatness of the thinking they produce. There are many situations in which we describe certain individuals as skilled thinkers because we are impressed by their way of thinking or their products. However, we rarely ask ourselves the question, what does a skilled thinker mean? Here, the answers are diverse, as some may see it as meaning a high level of intelligence, while for others it means encompassing a set of small details in a specific field. All this diversity means that sound thinking is a continuous and comprehensive process that is not limited to one particular thing. However, sound thinking is a comprehensive accumulative structure that involves several skills, abilities, and experiences. This confirms that a skilled thinker is anyone who makes an effort and doubles his efforts to continuously develop his intellectual and mental abilities. Furthermore, skillful thinking does not acknowledge obtaining degrees, social status, or physical abilities of individuals. Regardless of the circumstances, a person can become a skilled thinker if he possesses the will to engage in daily and continuous thinking. Bit to remember, skillful thinking is contingent upon making an effort and continuous work. We wouldn't be exaggerating if we said that thinking is the challenging task in our societies because we are used to ready-made solutions and tested ideas. We rarely engage in the experience of research, thinking, and doubling our efforts. Therefore, we find that the percentage of thinkers and even thinking enthusiasts is low compared to other societies. Thinking is a skill that must be enhanced, but before we enhance it, we must continuously acquire and interact with it. From a comprehensive perspective, the skill of thinking is capable of benefiting any person in his profession, specialization, private and public life. This is the common sense that thinkers deal with because their knowledge is accumulative and subject to the limited cognitive ceiling of time and place. Therefore, they are keen on visiting new places, reading new books, traveling to different regions, and learning new skills. In short, they are disciples who never stop practicing discovering life. Bit to remember, the skill of enhancing the skills means that a person should not stop at a certain limit.